force is that it affects everyone. Regardless of the industry that you're in, it will affect you. And one of the challenges that managers going forward will have is hiring the millennial generation. On the right side of this, we talk about, or have a visual that kind of represents our archetype of what the labor force looks like. The baby boomers, one of the most prominent generations that we've known in this country, and millennials will continually be compared to them. And that's kind of how we've been looking at some of the stuff we've studied throughout my coursework. We've looked at how management styles have to change, how the dream job has evolved into different things. The millennial class is not normal to the, I want a huge salary and I'm going to work 60 and 70 hours. 45% of millennials surveyed actually say they would take less to have a job that gives them more flexibility, maybe flex time, maybe the opportunity to work more from home. So what does that create for managers today? Well, it creates a game theory-like environment where you're all competing for a fixed amount of resources, which is the millennial generation in your labor force, in your company. So I have here kind of a little bit of a parody to show you some of the different focuses here. I know that the millennial generation, which I'm very proud to be a part of, we get sometimes a label of we're too technologically, we rely too much on technology. In some cases, we see that that doesn't necessarily play the case, but we actually use technology to enhance our social skills. One of the main things that millennials lead to is education and connection. And not just the standard type of education. A lot of us think about education, we think about the degrees we're all pursuing or hold already. But a lot of millennials are looking for new ways to learn new information, whether that's sparking up a conversation at a Starbucks or watching a TED Talk online for a couple of hours and then talking about it with friends later that afternoon. Education is one of those things that if you can provide to a millennial in your job workforce, it will provide lots of upside for them, as well as your company getting them to work for you. So one of the key things in this entire thing is motivation. How do managers motivate millennials to want to perform at their highest level and also give their resources to the company? We're seeing millennials leave at an alarming rate of these quote-unquote dream jobs. And a lot of that can be attributed to two things. One, the company may not have been delivering on what they promised initially, but probably more likely it's two. They weren't feeling challenged. They didn't feel like the work they were doing was contributing to society. This millennial generation doesn't necessarily want to have million-dollar salaries as long if they know that the company they're working for isn't contributing to the environment or to their community. You'll see that lots of companies are offering opportunities to do volunteering and also opportunities to get further education that may come in conference form or in any type of other medium. So I wanted to make sure I parallel the two of these to see that basically what you end up with